What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Before I get into the subject matter at hand, as always, I want to remind you guys that if you want to donate to the channel, I'll put a link in the description box and you can donate to Too Raw and show love to this channel. Now, I want to talk about the constant comparisons that the media makes to Michael Jordan and Kawhi Leonard. It's so nauseating, man. I'm seeing people, even in my comment section, that I've never seen before, that I guess are Raptors fans. Somehow, maybe they're Leonard fans. I don't know. I never knew Leonard had fans like that until a week or so ago. Now all of a sudden they're like, yeah, man, Leonard's the guy. Just same shit we've been seeing for years, man. What happened to all those Jeremy Lin fans that we saw a decade ago? What was it, 2010, 2011? Remember all those Jeremy Lin fans? Remember he did something in the first 5 games of his career that Jordan never did. Lin! Oh, I fucking love Lin, man. He's the fucking best. He's better than Kobe. He's better than Mike. And this motherfucker not even good enough to be in the rotation for the fucking Raptors. But I think I'm probably the first dude on YouTube to make these comparisons with Jordan. I did it after Kawhi Leonard made the series winning shot in Game 7 of that series against the Sixers. I was saying that the whole game, it kind of reminded me of like the late Bulls and how sometimes during certain games, especially playoffs, they relied too much on Jordan. Um, and I was comparing Kawhi to the older Mike, who was becoming less efficient and more of a shot jacker. And it kind of reminded me of some of those games where Mike was taking a lot of shots to get his points. And I wasn't really using that as a comparison to prop up Leonard. You know what I'm saying? Although I think any comparison to Mike is a good one to an extent. Um, but I think the media is they're going overboard with this shit, man. They're going overboard. I just get so sick of this shit. Um, we all know that the closest thing to Michael Jordan ever, the closest thing to Michael Jordan was Kobe Bean Bryant. That's the closest thing we've ever seen to Michael Jeffrey Jordan, Kobe Bryant. All right. This is my position on this. The closest thing to peak Michael Jordan is peak Kobe Bryant. When I watch Kawhi Leonard play, I think Leonard kind of reminds me of maybe the older Jordan who was losing his athleticism, getting a touch slower, and was revolving his game more on his fundamentals rather than the flash and sheer athleticism. And it's just little things that remind me of Leonard on the offensive things, on the offensive side of things, like his kind of reliance on the mid-range jumper, which is pretty much non-existent in the NBA now. Um, sometimes how he fades on his jumper. It's just little things. It's more on the defensive end where Leonard kind of reminds me of Michael. His ball stealing ability, his ability to shut his man down on the defensive end. That kind of reminds me of Michael. And you got to remember, Kobe's not playing right now. Kobe's been retired for 3 years, so that's what I'm thinking about a little bit with Leonard. But Nick Wright said something today, or it might have been Chris Carter, and I think it's a closer comparison to Leonard, and especially considering Leonard's a small forward. Leonard's game also kind of reminds me a little bit of Bernard King. You know what I'm saying? King was a deadly scorer. King did not have the range of these guys in today's NBA, but he was unstoppable from certain spots on the floor. And no matter what the defense would do, he had that quick release. He was able to get his shot off, and he would bust your ass for 28 to 35 points per game. And he had games where he went off. You know what I'm saying? For 30 years, I think he held the record for most points scored by a Knick player, which was 60 points. So until Carmelo scored 62. So, that's my overall take on the situation. Matter of fact, watching Leonard sometimes kind of remind me of Wizards Jordan when he's healthy. So it's not like I'm talking about on the offensive end. So it's not like I see this great athlete. I think it was Doc Rivers, right, who came out with that quote about Leonard, which you kind of can expect from Doc Rivers because he's the head coach of the Clippers, and the Clippers are one of the prime target areas, target spots for Kawhi Leonard this summer. So if you want to, heap all this effusive praise on him, think that's going to work, we'll see. But if he said he's the closest thing to Mike that he's seen, and the only way I can see that being an accurate statement is if he means like as far as um, just maybe like the style in which he plays, but like I said, really the closest thing that we've seen. I mean, you can't really. No, I can't even say that though because Kobe Bryant, even Michael Jordan acknowledged this. Kobe Bryant pretty much stole all of Michael's moves. So really, the closest thing we ever seen to Michael is Kobe. So I don't get where Doc Rivers said that. Like only thing I can see is that he said it basically to heap praise on Leonard and strategically, and you know, uh, maybe he think that kissing his ass is going to sway uh, Leonard's decision and to join the Clippers. That remains to be seen. I gotta also put my 2 cents on the video I made recently about whether Leonard's a top 50 player. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. I just put it out there because I want to test the waters and see what people feel about that. And I have to say, I really think people, in my opinion, maybe people rank players differently. One guy made a comment on my channel where he said, if Leonard was to win a championship this year, um, it would be 2 championships, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, and 2 Final MVPs. And he thinks that would be enough to push him into the top 50. I hear that. I understand where he's coming from with that. But I just can't put Leonard in a top 50 category yet based off of accomplishments. He hasn't done enough to me. Like, he hasn't played in 500 games yet. He's not even close to 10,000 career points. To put that in perspective, Derrick Rose surpassed 10,000 career points like, a year or two ago? And he's been marred with injuries. So, and nobody looks at Derrick Rose as a top 50 player. He's the youngest MVP, I think, in NBA history. Hmm. But I can't what about Wes Unseld? Wes Unseld is the last player in the history of the NBA, if I'm not mistaken, to win Rookie of the Year and League MVP in the same season. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wes Unseld came to the NBA, won Rookie of the Year, and was voted the league's MVP. And I think his numbers his rookie year were crazy. Like, I think it was something like, I think he averaged 18 rebounds per game his rookie year. I think one uh, year, I think it was earlier in his career, it might have been a short run, but I think Unseld averaged like 24, 25 rebounds a game in a series. Like, Wes Unseld, before his knees really went, man, he was a beast. He wasn't the greatest scorer. He wasn't the greatest leaper. All right. He wasn't the tallest guy out there, but he used whatever physical gifts he had to give you hell in the low post. You know what I'm saying? Wes Unseld, one of the greatest rebounders and one of the greatest outlet passers in the history of the game. And I think for the years that he played and the fact that he helped, along with the great Big E, Elvin Hayes, to get and Phil Chenier, all right, and I think Bob Dandridge on the team as well, to help give that city an NBA championship, the city of Washington D.C., when they were still the Bullets, which I think they still should be going by, you know. And I think they had the worst record ever as far as winning a title. I think their Bullets team was only 44-38 that year, 77-78 season. All right. I think that was their second final appearance. They a much better team, a much better version of that team. The 61 Bullets in 1974-75, surprisingly, if I'm mistaken, got swept by the 48-34, I believe that was the record, Golden State Warriors in 1975. But they won it all in 78. And I know this video ain't about that, but sometimes, man, the shit just come out of me and I gotta just, just give that little history lesson and talk about shit. But look, Kawhi Leonard has certain flashes of his game that kind of remind you of Michael, but he's no Michael Jordan. All right, he's not Michael Jordan, and I was always careful in my videos to not go too far in that comparison. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not that dominant a player. Um, but there are certain areas of his game that kind of, if you watch from that, with the eye test, you're like, oh, that kind of reminds me of Mike a little bit. That kind of reminds me of Mike a little bit. Kobe was like, man, this dude is like fucking Jordan. It was a difference. That's the difference. Tell me what you guys think.